DJ and PK reminding you, you've got a chance to win big every week on The Zone. Win Ticket Wednesdays. And tomorrow, you can win a pair of tickets to see Brooks and Dunn at the Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater on May 30th. Listen to Zone all day Wednesday for your chance to win. Brooks and Dunn, more your wheelhouse than mine, but I'm thinking that's a pretty expensive ticket right there.
Not mine.
Not yours. You're not into Brooks and Dunn.
I'm not old school country, no.
Okay.
I was going to say, Brooks and Dunn is more of the, like what people call classic country.
That's the Waylon Jennings types and all those.
Merle Haggard.
Yeah, mine is pop masquerading as country.
We got a question up on our Facebook page here. NIL deals and transfers are going wild. How much is this impacting your interest on college sports? Great Osobor, $2 million to transfer to Washington. Saw a story he's the highest compensated college basketball player. His agent hit it out of the park.
His agent
did. I read a story. I forget the agent's name, but there was an agent and whatever.
Danny Sprinkle.
No, not Danny Sprinkle.
Yeah, that's nuts, man. That's not money well spent.
Reset the market.
That's just crazy. That is out of control. 3 different universities he's played for.
And 3 different universities bidding on him now.
And just open it up to the highest bidder. That's what we've become.
There it is.
You have the opportunity to embrace it, or you have the opportunity to say enough. I think more people are going to end up like me, which is always a great thing.
Playing golf?
No.
Going to the gym?
They're just going to view it as a form of entertainment, and that's it. And they're not going to get all wrapped up in it.
Dial back the passion. Well, that's bad news for the schools. Might be healthy for society.
No, I understand. Yeah.
PK was watching a video that we can't really play or quote. It would just take hours to bleep it. You're a dirty little bleep. I can see it in your face.
Cedar versus
Dixie.
Dixie is and
Cedar High, Dixie
lacrosse.
High, lacrosse.
Yeah.
And parents were losing it.
One mother holding a baby while using profanity, which is
cussing people out.
Actually pretty impressive when you think about it.
Reminds you of your days growing up in Jersey?
Or here when I was holding my kids.
You dirty little bleep.
Yeah. And she could see it in whoever she was yelling at's face. And this is coming out of England. So
it's gone global.
Oh, yeah.
The website that picked up this video.
Isn't the Daily Mail, isn't that out of England?
Yeah. So the Daily Mail has gotten a hold of something from Cedar and Dixie High.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I think that's the way to go anyway. I've always felt
But will
like
people pay all this money that they're paying to go to all these games? I mean, the luxury suites, the donations you make before you buy the expensive tickets.
If they view it as a form of entertainment, yes.
Whew.
Why not?
Because I don't know that they pay top dollar like that for a form of entertainment. They pay top dollar because they have a passion for it.
Oh, I don't know about that.
Really? You think just the popularity of
something to do,
enough businesses,
you enjoy it.
Enough businesses will buy the seats.
Well, there's always going to be that. I mean, that's the way they've matriculated anyway.
That's how the business has evolved.
Right.
Anybody writing a story about, for a family of 4 that doesn't happen. Watch the people going up and down the aisles at the game. I don't see the families of 4 buying tickets to go to games.
It's still a night out. And a night out.
Or a Saturday afternoon out, but I get your point.
I was thinking the NBA.
Yeah. The NBA is a night out.
I was thinking here in our town.
But in college basketball, a lot of these towns, they are the big show. They aren't the NBA,
okay.
But they're,
it's a night out. And a night out is something you look forward to, right? You got the humdrum daily give and take of life, the routine, and it can get somewhat monotonous. And so you have an opportunity to go and you see an alley-oop or you see a Caitlin Clark doing her thing.
Throwing a logo 3.
That's fun, right? And so I don't know that that's going to change. I wonder if the passion will be, when it comes down to, if Kyle Whittingham ends up being literally right, not philosophically right, which I think he's already philosophically right. Money equals wins. But if it comes down to when it's literally right,
people will
where
hate it.
NIL, if you pay the most, you're number one. If you pay the second most, you're number two, and all the way down to 25.
Right. Baseball had a little of that going, but it seems to have gotten away. There seems to be a little unpredictability. Maybe it's all the pitchers getting hurt. Teams spend a lot of money on pitchers, and then they can't pitch. Maybe that's too simple an explanation, but 25 years ago when the Yankees had the biggest payroll every year and won 4 out of 5 World Series, I think people were getting sick of it. But subsequently, we've had a run where...
Yeah, but they also drafted their guys.
They drafted a lot of those guys, yeah.
They were homegrown. The core of it was homegrown.
But we got to the point where, you'd go 8 years and it'd be 6 or 7 different champs. So it got a little less
baseball
predictable.
has a form of randomness to it with put a
Their pitcher
wooden
gets
bat
hot.
in somebody's hand and he swings and something happens. You know what I mean? It's hard to do. And so you've got Bucky Dents of the world doing something that is well beyond their normal capability and then become a folk hero. So those things happen. Bruce Bochy won 3 World Series titles with the Giants by picking no-name guys to come up and pinch hit, and they get a big hit. Travis Ishikawa will forever be known for a big hit, and so those things happen. But I think as it relates to college, but we've already understood at the pro level and accepted that to a good extent, that it is about the money. That's already been ingrained in us. The college is where it's new, right? And once it drops down to junior high, I'm definitely out.
Jim actually posted something like that. Jim says, the thin veneer of amateur sports is gone. What's next? Paying high school kids to play?
Yeah, that's my agent is setting me up to go at the high school level. That's crazy. But so now it's new acceptance or rejection at the college level. I've been indoctrinated covering college sports for decades that I've seen stuff and I knew what was going on, and coaches have told you and me, and so we're aware of it. So I've already accepted it that the Ohio States of the world, of course they're going to win.
It's been covered. I mean, it's out there. For people who wanted to. Before I got into the business, I read the story. I mean, Kentucky literally mailed cash to a player, and the package broke open, and the money spilled out at the airport. And the people at the airport are like,
use better tape.
That would have been good. Kentucky.
Right, but it wasn't our school. Our school didn't do it. Your school did it, but not my school.
I still get how you win
it's
at
every school.
I get how you win at the highest level.
Yeah. So you're going to have to accept
But
that.
now it's not the teams going to the Final Four. Now it's everybody who's getting into the NCAA tournament, and probably half the teams in the NIT tournament are hip deep. I still don't have a good feel for, the WAC, the Big West, the Big Sky. I mean, do those teams really have NIL money? All told, do my Gauchos have $100,000?
Oh, they have spare change.
Do your Lumberjacks? Yeah, they get $1,000 here. Maybe what NIL was meant to be is what they get.
Yeah. So that'll be part of that there. Yeah, we understand that.
So on my recent hiatus, I was down in southern Utah, met up with a friend who works for one of the universities down there. We were talking about NIL. And I said, okay, fill me in here. What's the WAC? Where do things stand? He told me that multiple players that go to Grand Canyon University are making more in NIL than every other university in the WAC. Now they're going to the West Coast Conference.
I did hear Grand Canyon was just short of $1 million for their basketball team, $800,000 or $900,000.
Well, they want to win. That's why they're going to go to the West Coast Conference.
Right.
So that one's skewing outside of that. But I was told
the rest of the WAC,
I've been told is
what's
in
the
the
WAC?
West of the WAC,
less than $500,000 at maybe the highest.
Yeah, but they don't expect that much, and so they're never going to win anything.
Right.
But then it's fine. They're not going to win anything, and then
they got games on campus.
You
people
pay for
go,
what you get, and it's
yeah.
good for the young men and young women to have the opportunity to play some ball after high school and build some relationships and memories and all that stuff. Yeah. That's the Pollyannish view that we view it, but it's not going to be that way. And it's not, and so you're going to have to accept it. I think that people will come to grips and terms with it. I mean, I'm fine with it.
David says it's hard to be a fan with players leaving after one season. The constant change is detrimental.
Unless you win. But I don't think you're going to win with the constant change.
Utah State was the exception to the rule.
Well, yeah, but...
Unless everybody has the constant change and then somebody has to win. I mean, if nobody has continuity...
Right.
Then that levels the playing field.
But I don't know that's
going to be. But BYU
be.
had more continuity and did better with kind of the same cast of characters because they brought them back for a second year.
Mm-hmm. And guys got better.
Right. Guys, the individual improvement plus the group's just more familiar.
Yeah. I think that's the way. And yet they go out in the first round.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't sniff anything that really matters in the NCAA tournament. We'll see if KY can do his thing. And then they'll be excited. If your team is winning, you're going to overlook it. But I think eventually, that's the thing about it, is that if it just literally corresponds, the top 25 are the top 25 highest paid.
Then somebody will write the story and we'll read it at the start of the year, and then that makes the sport really predictable. If it comes down to what you say literally, because you're right, Kyle philosophically is right. Mm-hmm. Nobody's winning with no money. Mm-hmm. But if it literally comes down to, we got $2 million more than you, and we're going to beat you, if it gets that predictable, what we like are the surprises. We like the unpredictability. We
like competition.
I can't believe
if it's 54-10, we're out.
I can't believe that happened.
To me, college football, as the season progressed, I check out nationally. Like, I used to get up every morning and watch game day. And a lot of it was in hotel rooms, and I didn't have anything else to do, really. But even now, I still go into hotel rooms. I'm not into it because I'm tired of talking about
Georgia's going to win again.
Alabama, Ohio State, and they got to play the hits, so I'm not blaming them. But from a national level,
it's too predictable.
It became boring.
Yeah, you need surprises.
Right. So that's why, to me, I viewed it as, well, if you won your conference. That's why I was so engrossed in the Pac-12, because all these schools that have been followed. But then Oregon started flipping it, and they've been flipping it for a good while now. And you kind of go, well, they're just buying this thing here. And so they're getting all these kids because they're spending all this money. And they've been spending NIL money long before NIL was a thing. And they bought their way to the top. And they saw Oregon State won a couple of baseball titles, and so then they bought a baseball program.
We can't have baseball. The weather's bad, and we got Title IX issues. Oregon State wins the title. We're starting a baseball team.
Yeah.
The weather got better, and Title IX wasn't a problem.
And they've got a first-class facility.
Those were just cop-outs.
And they've got a really good team, so you just got to roll with it. And if you're a fan of that, you act like, oh, that doesn't really matter. But it does. It's the reason why you're winning. It's the reason why Oregon, which sucked for decades, is very good now because they bought themselves a winner. Good for them.
Jason, it's hard to fault any of the athletes, but it has diminished the product somewhat.
Oh, I don't fault them at all. Zero fault. I would do the exact same thing if I was Great Osobor. Way to go, fella.
DJ and PK, Brian Howell, Colorado Buffalo's beat writer for the Buff Zone, and the Boulder Daily Camera joins us at the top of the hour. Year 2 of Dion. Will it be different than year 1? And if so, how much? That's coming up in 15 minutes. Stay with us.